What is going on YouTube? This is Will with CodeLoch. Getting on here to do a quick video. Go talk about a couple of things I've been working on, I've been thinking about. Let's jump right into it. What is going on YouTube? This is Will with CodeLoch. Getting on here to do a quick video. Go talk about a couple of things I've been working on, I've been thinking about. Right, I figured that out. I had some audio repeating because I've hooked up a couple of things to demonstrate tonight, one of which is the keyboard. So the main function of Kinto is basically to connect people or devices. And a good example of that is working on music. So I have a keyboard here, it's a little MIDI keyboard. I plug it into my computer and I'm able to play with GarageBand, Logic Pro, or any other MIDI application, even including websites that support MIDI over USB, which is incredible. Being able to just play a synthesizer without having to download anything. But save that for another day. The thing is, playing in GarageBand, I'm not able to easily share that audio with people, right? So they can't hear what's going on. how do I jam with people remotely? And I'm curious how other people deal with that. You know, like there's obviously FaceTime and phone and things like that, and I'm sure that's part of it. But what a little bit higher fidelity, or at least, oh wow, hey Vasco. Yep. So doing a test stream to YouTube right now. So like I was laying out to people, and uh, YouTube is I've set up my MIDI keyboard so it plays into GarageBand, and I have that routed back into my mic input, and then I use Kinto to make that available to my streaming computer, so I'm able to like aggregate audio there. So that's what's going on. Right, so an interesting feature I could talk about real quick, even though it's pretty late, is the facial mapping feature. So I've been working on getting this all tidied up for a release. So this icon right here, if I click it, will take my face and replace the avatar's face with it. If I click on computer, click this button, it'll take my face right here and map it in real time. The quality is deliberately reduced, but that is my real face. This is real time. Um, Pretty cool. The idea is it lets users kind of show like facial expressions and stuff without showing any detail. One of my biggest gripes with tools like Zoom, all those tools, is just capturing the background, and that's something they're actively working on getting cleared up. But this is another example of what could be done. Vasco's asking if I play NFSMW multiplayer. I'm not sure yet. Big church out.
I think around the chat. Don't open it because it's not like I spent on it.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, that's something.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh my god. Oops. The whole thing was live. The bastards in there. This retired and everything. Wait. No, that's not. Right. What? 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 Not doing it? Why not? Oh my god. Right, folks, we are going to take a quick look at the system I set up to make my keyboard available through Kinto so I can host jam sessions basically online with others. Sometime. Can't play at all, just demonstrating the system. It's just fun. It really is. Very cool. So what I'm doing here is I have an audio out splitter. So I have my MacBook Air, as you can see here, and I have coming out the aux cord. I just have a little splitter, and coming off of that, I have my monitor headphones, so I can hear what I'm playing. And then second to that, I'm running the audio back into essentially an audio capture card, or a video capture card in this case, and it makes it available in Kindle. So if you have a Windows laptop, you likely have a mic jack already, so it's quite easy. You could literally just plug in your cable from your headphone jack to your mic jack, and you're able to bridge your audio. I have looked for a couple of solutions to do this just like in software, and I've got close a couple of times with various softwares. But when it comes to audio, even on Mac, and especially Windows, the sound drivers on or sound is not really implemented well. Like there's only one instance of sound, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'll have to dig into that in a later video and show you some of the software solutions I looked into. But I just recommend that if you want to play an audio device into Kinto, it makes sense to just literally pipe it in through a microphone port. Now, the great thing about using the DJI hardware that I use, so I use the DJI mics. You can see right here, printed a little stand for it. Makes it seem good. Sorry, someone just joined the room, and I get a notification every time that someone joins, so it's a wee bit distracting. And we had someone hop on who was actually asking some questions earlier, Basco from Brazil, so that's pretty cool. Probably didn't even know he was on YouTube, but he was. Okay, so continuing. Let's see if I can find any cool sounding stuff. So one of the things I had to figure out, and I'm still in the process of figuring out, is the audio fidelity. So ensuring the right bit rate, ensuring that any filtering, such as noise filtering, noise suppression, echo cancelling, or gain control, is all functioning properly and not destroying musical audio. Because I've found that with WebRTC specifically, at least its original implementation was for like VoIP services. So basically, just thinking about it, they're trying to replace a phone call. And if you think about your traditional standard phone call, phone calls have a distinct sound, right? That's because that phone call is only picking up a specific frequency of your voice or the person you're talking to, and that's basically in order to save bandwidth or to save data. Only take a chunk of the actual sound. And that works perfectly fine for speaking or voice, you're able to get enunciations and all that. But when it comes to music, where we're producing all sorts of sounds, it doesn't work as well. So just something to be aware of. And the same problem exists with WebRTC. And it's not even so much with WebRTC as much as it's also with the get user media. So when it comes to creating a video call or a video stream using WebRTC, there is basically two things happening at a very, very high level. One, there's the camera or the display device or the audio device that has to be captured by the browser. And it basically makes it available as a stream. It's literally called a media stream. I can then take that media stream and I can do whatever I want with it. So I'll give you a couple of examples. One, I've implemented a record function. So you could record videos. So like this little window right here, I could click record and it takes the active media stream coming directly from the web camera and basically puts that into a buffer and then saves that buffer to disk. And then I'm able to come back and watch that file as an MP4 file. Pretty cool, right? One of the things to note is encoding doesn't work right away for everything. So not all MP4s are created equal, and that is a problem when it comes to web. And I'm only going to be able to talk about that as I continue to develop this technology here and kind of run into those issues. Yeah, really cool. Cool. So now I'm going to get some B-roll essentially for a video I'm working on. So part of the reason I'm doing these lives quite late at night is because it's the limited time I have during the day. I work a full-time job for a large company as a iPhone developer currently. I've been a web developer for going on 15 years, so that was quite a wee change up, but interesting times. Right. So let's take a minute and actually talk about why I'm using WebRTC, or at least what the connection paradigm looks like at a very, very high level. Typically, when a user streams on a service such as YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever else, they're using their device, which is represented in this top box, which I've called Peer 1. So we could think of that as the stream. This is the media stream object. So typically what happens is there is a central server, or a set of them, which they call the cloud now. So typically, peer 1 would actually be called client 1, or yeah, client 1. He would connect to the cloud. He would have a stream location where he'd essentially output that stream. And then other people that connect, represented in this lower area, would all essentially connect to the server relay. Now, I don't know how they scale this. I've never implemented it something at scale. I can just tell you um, my understanding of it. And we're not going to talk about caches or CDNs and all that. I'm just literally talking about getting media from A to B. So in the case of Kinto, it was really important to me to get away from that because that's how we were doing things. Gosh, since the start of instant messengers. So now on the web, we're lucky that we have WebRTC freely available and essentially built into the browser. Right now, it's free technology and it's yours for the taking. Um, and you should because it'd make a better internet. But to get into it, in our case here, my stream represented in the window here, what you see on YouTube, is actually all done through Kinto. As you can see, I am this peer 1. So, right now, if users were to connect, they'd all flat join the room. They would see that my avatar has a peer stream ID, essentially letting them know that they should connect to me for a live media stream. And actually, for them to connect to me, I actually have to essentially call them in the protocol. So they request that I call them with my stream. I call them with my stream. They pick it up, and then it's represented by a window, and the stream is displayed in the user interface or the avatar or whatever. And that is that. Now, this is cool. It bypasses the need for going to the cloud. However, this introduces scalability issues because peer 1 is essentially responsible for uploading all the data. Every single peer that connects will all go through peer 1. So, how is Kinto getting by this? Essentially by creating a mesh relay. So the best way I could describe it is people that join the room who are not streaming themselves, who are not emitting their own video, can essentially, if their connection is strong enough, serve as a relay for peer 1. So for example, peer 2 peer 2 will also now be given a stream peer ID, but it will also be marked that this peer is actually just a relay for an existing user in the room. Peer 1, my video, for example. So now that peer 2 is connected, anyone else that joins the room, instead of connecting to peer 1, which is me, my tired old iPhone or whatever, who can only handle so many connections, it will now instead go through peer 2. So peer 2 is directly connected to peer 1. Now, the rest of the peers that can come in will connect to peer 2. Now, what happens if peer 2 goes offline or peer 2 has a crappy connection? Then we would just shift that peer to the next peer in the list. Let's connect to peer 3. So essentially, it's just kind of a whack-a-mole situation, but the end result is hopefully something that is quick and responsive. It gets rid of this cloud component. It's very expensive to upload and stream video. The higher the resolution, the higher the frame rate. Gosh, the worse it gets. So very excited to bring this to you, and keep on it. Hey Jamie, I just wanted to make sure that you got my wonderful drawing that I did. You might have to rewind a wee bit to see what I was covering, but yeah, working the whiteboard in. Put the mic on the side of the board so I don't have to worry about holding it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just show you the device layout that I've used to basically construct this video for YouTube. I'm using Kinto to do it. We're going to talk about a couple of devices I've connected. So what we have is the OBS computer, or the streaming computer, which is essentially outputting the stream to YouTube. So we're going to put that at the top. So essentially what I'm doing here is representing main video and then the watchers or supplemental channels. So in this case, for example, one camera isn't always enough. Sometimes I want to have two cameras. Another example is audio. If you don't have like a bunch of money to dump into like hardware and stuff, being able to take advantage of the hardware you already have, such as an old cell phone, and to be able to turn that into like a supplemental video or audio source is a huge plus. It's a huge bonus. Kinto lets me do that. It lets Jamie Lynn do that. She's been able to put together streams for quite a while, even when like the equipment wasn't readily available. So yeah, let me continue on laying out the current setup I've going on right now. Carry on. So I have my M2 MacBook Air, which is right here, and this is responsible for sharing my desktop. So if we look over here, this is my desktop streaming live from my M2 Mac. So this is all in real time, and I'm not controlling. It's literally I'm sharing screen in OBS. Okay, see if I can show you that. But I'll continue drawing this out. So I've got the into air, it's sharing desktop. So I'm able to show you my development environment. It's this white area here. It's called Visual Studio Code. It's important. It's what if you code Python and code anything, you're gonna want to get Visual Studio Code. It has IntelliSense. So, you know, it's what you need. this, start to shoot, and then I have my MacBook One or my MacBook Air 1 in here that's hooked up to my MIDI keyboard. I'm just going to pop that in here as well. So that's actually just sharing an audio source. I could have it capture like additional video, but terrible angle, so I'm not going to do that. So this is literally just sharing an audio source. And when I click this into a video, I'll be able to come back and actually demonstrate this with some overlays. And we also have my phone as a supplemental camera. So let's also add that. And that is a iPhone 13 Pro. And that is the camera source. Okay. So, quick highlight of what we got going on here. One, the screen that you currently see on YouTube is called my Kinto OBS setup. This is essentially the stream, right? This is the stream. The only reason you're seeing objects in this stream though is because I've connected from various other devices, and I am sharing those devices with my stream setup. So that means my screen, which you currently see all blown up right now, which is represented by this box right here. We've got 1, this is 2, this is 3. So represented by 1 is running on my M2 Air, which is right here, and it's sharing desktop. Okay, so if I come in here, drag my window open over, so this is literally the window I'm talking about. If I click streaming Kinto, you'll see us here, and you'll see that I have a different view than the streaming has, because I can select, for example, what video is like supposed to be doing video. Like it's beautiful. I have full control over it. That's confusing. Okay. So to carry on here, I am sharing my desktop. So if I click this, for example, you can see some of it activated. So if any of these buttons are red, it essentially means that's live. So the audio isn't highlighted because in Mac, if you're sharing screen, you cannot share audio. You can only share audio if you share a tab, and that's a kernel limitation on the operating system. Chrome is not trusted to do that, and this is as close as we can get. But it has full shared desktop capability, which is great to work with. So I just did that, you can't see more, so I'll push it again. Okay. All right. So for the next part, so I just spoke about my MacBook 2. So it's frozen. Let me update it. Maybe switch over. So back in business. And just to make it clear for everyone, I've developed this entire system myself over the course of a handful of years. And being able to actually record with it now and start streaming is very, very exciting. Obviously, we're not getting too many views here. I don't anticipate that for quite some time. And you know what? That's all right, because some of the videos I have on this channel goes back 17 years. I just discovered 2 new videos today that I didn't know were on the channel. And they were from Kinto development 2 years ago. And I'm so glad I have those up there. Never mind the ones I have 15, 14 years ago. So, being able to archive like my project, just like what I've been like, dumping my time into, even as videos, feels good because life's short, and I'm probably gonna forget most of everything anyway by the end of it. If you know, I'm lucky enough to get to old age. Carrying on. So we talked about my screen share, which is happening from my M2 MacBook Air. Then we're talking about the audio. So that's this. That's because I have a keyboard here. Let me see if I can switch around. That'll probably be helpful connected on my phone. Let's see. So it's a wee bit far, but this is a little keyboard right here. It's an AKAI MPK 249. I think that's what MP. That's the joy to play with. It's semi-weighted. Should probably have my microphone. So it's easy to forget that I'm supposed to hold this to my face, but no, the keyboard's fantastic. I have it hooked up to my M1, my MacBook M1 right here. You can see it right now. If I go to Kinto on here, yeah, what I'll probably just do is pull up a phone. So I'm going to just show you how easy it is to hook a new device in. So give me a second. I've got a gimbal here that'll make this a smoother process. So right, so I just logged in with an additional device. So testing. So now if I click on streams, you can see the streams I was talking about, the devices. I've got my desktop shared. I have a camera. I forget where the audio is coming from. Okay, it's coming from here. So I need to mute this because that will be going into the stream. Much better. All right, so got my phone, got Kinto, and I'm going to add another stream to the stream. Okay, so I can do this live. I can turn on devices. I can kill other devices. I can have a device fail. I can have the battery fail on this. I can have this fall down. It doesn't matter. The stream is an aggregate of streams. It's not just a single stream. So typically, if you have a YouTube stream, for example, or Instagram, Twitch, whatever, if your device goes off, your stream goes off. Don't have to worry about that here. All right. So let me carry on. This is the DJI, I think it's the Osmo. Great little device. I definitely went on a wee bit of a DJI spending spree. I picked up these microphones probably about 6 weeks ago, and that's probably the best thing I could have done. The audio was really terrible here, and it's very hard to get right. Never mind trying to develop a system. Yikes. Microphone's great. I also picked up a gimbal for use with my phone. But then I ended up picking up a DJI Action 4 camera, which I use for underwater diving, and I'm even using right now is a webcam, which I'm going to be doing a wee video about as well. But everything pretty much plays with everything else, so quite a joy. Cool. So as I just described, I was able to dumping another device. I mean, look at this, right? I'm not kidding. This is my iPhone 13. You can see it from a DJI Action 4. Let's see if I can rotate it around. Yeah, Inception, man. Look at that. Uh, I think this is the first time I've even demonstrated the components that go into just making a video. Um, very cool. So now I can give you a wee bit better view of what's going on. So this gimbal's great. Can like jump around a wee bit, show you some things. So if we go, let me spin around. So this is the keyboard I was talking about. It's lovely. I'm gonna have to turn the speed down. It's damn gimbal. It's a treat, but bloody hell. Then I have the MacBook here. It's also running Kinto, and I'm literally just sharing audio. So I'm sharing a microphone. Let me see if I can switch this around. Bear with me. Right. So this is my little test setup. If I'm to click my microphone here, to see I have USB. I have a bunch of options here, right? I have the default MacBook microphone. I have some virtual bridging software that I use to try and bypass the hardware bridge, which is just going from your aux to a microphone input. But on MacBook Air, that actually requires an external sound card through means of Bluetooth or USB or like a video capture card that has a audio in. The cool thing about Kinto is this list does update in real time. So say I unplug my device or I plug in a web camera or whatever, if I click this, it will automatically come up. This isn't stuff that's just like, I've had to build all this from scratch and just kind of like make it intuitive as possible while figuring out how this technology works. So it's going to be difficult. Let me see if I can plug in headphone real quick. So I am sharing my, as mentioned, I'm sharing a bunch of devices. It's all through Kinto, webrtc, and it's all aggregated into one screen, which you're seeing now, and then rebroadcasted to YouTube via OBS. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, I work in the morning and it's like 2:30 and I'm sitting here with these new crappy songs on my software recorded. Hang loose, guys. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Catch you another time.